go to John. John is next up on PTL. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Brian. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the most difficult calls that I've ever made in my life. So please, if you can just bear with me for a moment. My entire life, I've been a Republican, and I've always voted, and I made a mistake.
You made a mistake.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. What mistake did you make?
Yes. Well, I voted for Trump both times, or all 3 times, but
wow.
I voted for him. Now that I see what he's doing to this country of ours, I made a mistake, and this is truly difficult. I'm so sad. This is the call that I'm making. It's just so difficult to admit it, but what I was thinking our country would be and where we're headed right now are just in two. It's just so sad. I'm just so sad.
What made you decide to vote? Okay, so what have you seen from him in the last 4 months that you didn't see from him the first go around that allowed you to vote for him again? Why did you vote for him a third time to begin with? You didn't know the man that he was? I'm confused. Help me understand. What has he done in the first 4 months? And by the way, I'm glad that you're able to admit that. There's no shame in admitting it. But why did you vote for him a third time? And what did you see in the last 4 months that you didn't see in the last 8 years?
I've always been a Republican. I've always just voted for Republican, and it's not the Republican Party that it always has been. And now my last straw, or my last, it's just so sad watching the weekend with the Trump, the march and the parade.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's what was the turning point for you, because a lot of people didn't show up to his birthday parade. The turning point for you wasn't January 6th, the insurrection. The turning point for you was not telling a woman what to do with her own body. The turning point for you wasn't when he pardoned a bunch of January 6th insurrectionists. You're telling me the turning point for you was the birthday bash?
Well, no, watching it and him looking like a king, looking like the guys from North Korea. He was looking like other people as the parade people were going by, and it made me realize in what the sadness of how he wants to take our country. No, I'm a father, and I have a daughter. And realizing now that a lot of the issues that he's dealing with are things that could be very hurtful or demolish for my daughter.
I listen, sir. I agree with what you just said. You're right. He does want to be a king and a dictator. But I want to ask you a question. You said you have a daughter. You knew that Donald Trump was a liable abuser. You knew that there were 25 women that came forward that accused him of abuse, including his ex-wife in court documents. If you have a daughter, how could you vote for a guy knowing that he went into teenage girls' locker rooms bragging about it without permission? Wouldn't that have given you pause? Like, I don't understand. Why is it just the birthday bash and him acting like a king? Why didn't you see this coming before? I guess that's my question.
Again, this is a very, very sad call, but I was brainwashed. I'm a Republican, and I've always got to be a Republican, and the family's a Republican, and we've always voted Republican. But now I'm starting to come around, and I'm seeing what's going on. And when I thought back about it, and I ended up thinking about the things from the past and how it could be very detrimental to my daughter, and if we have any grandkids, granddaughters, the hurt it could be for women and females that it's so sad.
Would you vote for if Kamala Harris was running against Donald Trump tomorrow and you had to vote? Who'd you vote for? Who would you vote for?
Well, yes, if I could do it again, I would have voted for Biden if he ran.
Okay, but hold on. But that wasn't my question.
Harris.
Okay, so
I would have voted for anybody other than Trump.
Okay,
knowing what I know now and looking back at it from a 2020 hindsight situation, looking back at it now, I would have voted for Kamala Harris. I would have voted for a Gavin Newsom. I would have voted for anybody else. And I know that it's too late, now. But when I'm looking now,
No,
towards,
it's not too
the
late.
sadness of
No,
the
I
future,
disagree with you. It's not too late.
well, I can't
You have
do
the
anything
midterms.
about it now.
No, you have the midterms coming up, and you have another presidential election to vote for.
Yeah,
So you will
I can't do anything about my past voting record, but all I can worry about now is the future. And because of that, I will be more involved on the midterms, and I will have the attempt to get people to put in as many Democrats as possible.
Okay, let me
so
ask you some questions. Let me ask you some questions. If
really hurts me.
JD Vance versus Hillary Clinton, who do you vote for? Hypothetical.
Well, knowing what I know, I would vote for Hillary Clinton.
Okay, so you're not going to vote for any more MAGA Republicans. I understand. Okay.
Yes, and again, I'm 58 years old, and since I was 21, I've been very loyal. I just voted for the Republican. It didn't matter. That's how I was. So again, this is a very sad call that I have to make. That I realize what the sadness, that elections have consequences, and we're dealing with these consequences. And right now, if I could be welcomed into the Democratic Party, if I could be invited to them, I don't know really what the process
Would you go to
is.
a No Kings protest?
Well, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I would.
All right, then I think Democrats should accept you. I will accept you.
Okay.
You've certainly made some mistakes based on your voting record, but the fact that you've come around, some people might say better late than ever. I'm glad that you're willing to admit your mistake. There's nothing bashful in life. We all make mistakes. Clearly, you've made yours. You've owned it. You're willing to call into a radio show and admit that. And for that, I appreciate you, sir, for admitting that you were wrong. And I think we all should, while I am confused and while I am agitated that people would vote for Donald Trump 3 times, I'm also a little bit relieved that somebody that would call in that is a staunch Donald Trump supporter or was and a Republican would now vote to the left. I guess, thank you. Thank you for admitting that, sir. And I do appreciate your call. And I'm going to take what you're saying as being genuine.